Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. We're back at it again.
We surely are. Guess what we did yesterday, guys?
Guess.
Yeah,
I don't hear you guessing.
Let's hear it.
Okay, we'll tell you. We went to a baseball game.
Yeah, you would never have thought it, would you?
Yeah, it's kind of random.
It was really random. There was so few people there. It was really fun, actually.
Mm-hmm. No, it was. Because honestly, I think a baseball game during the week is going to be way less crowded. Because,
So true.
okay, we went to this one yesterday, Tuesday, and it was there was probably like, what, 50 people there? Maybe,
Yeah, like in the crowd.
100. There was not
I don't think there was 100 people there.
It could have been 100, I don't know.
Like 70 max, I would say.
But last time I was at this same baseball field, it was like a year or two ago, but it was packed and it was on a Saturday.
Oh, those Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games are always packed. Also because they have fireworks shows after.
Oh, true.
So it's like more stuff to do, and there's normally like food trucks also like in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. So it's like on the weekends it's definitely bigger. Yeah. But I like the nobody there vibe.
Yeah, so if that's the hack. If you want to go when nobody's there.
Mm-hmm. I was on the jumbo screen.
It's probably any.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
Any baseball. But yeah, I'm way more likely to get on the Jumbotron.
I didn't even try, and I was just on there.
Yeah.
And we were there when they like premiered. Is that the word? Premiered like their new giant Jumbotron. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize how small the old one was until we looked it up.
Yeah.
And that big screen is big, honey. That new one is huge. And I was on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on it. Let me tell you guys. Let me reenact. Okay. It's yesterday we were at the baseball game. They're playing the song Shiny Teeth by Chip Skylark. So they're like, the shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space. And I was singing, so I guess that's why they put me on there. But I was just on there, and then I had to smile. And then they kept me on there for so long. I was like, can you guys, because I didn't know where the camera was. I was trying to find it. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, the mascot, his name is Bolt, and he's like this red furry thing, and I was making him dance at our friend Dina. It was just so fun, honestly. Had a great time.
It was a good time.
And a gorgeous sunset, too.
We got the dogs. We had to get hot dogs, obviously.
Glizzies were obviously secured.
That's literally the point of going to a baseball game.
If you go to a baseball game and you do not get a glizzy, federal crime. Like,
for real.
What is wrong? Had to. It was so great. Mm-hmm. But you know what else I did over the weekend?
What?
I honestly had a lot of fun this past week. I did a lot of stuff. I rented a boat with some friends and went out on Lake Norman again with Normie, the cryptid.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fun.
Actually, I was stalking your location at one point, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's in the middle of the lake.
That's so funny. Dang, you should have took a screenshot of that, because I would have loved to see it. I was out there. I really was. And it was so... Okay, we have rented a boat out there before, but this time, we only did it once before. Okay. This time, we got a different boat. I mean, it was still like a pontoon or whatever, but like, last time it was like both sides of the boat had like seats, but this time the front had seats and the back had a bed.
Oh. Okay.
It was so nice. I got so sunburned, guys. And
that's like perfect for...
So perfect for tanning. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So we absolutely need to rent a boat very soon. That was just the first of the summer.
I want to go out on a boat.
It's honestly not even that expensive. And we've only ever rented them in 4-hour increments. Mm-hmm. Because that was the first time they actually ever driven a boat like Taylor and stuff. Right. So practice, honestly, people. But apparently you can rent it for like multiple days, so we could be out at night and at sunset, because we always have to bring them back by like 6 p.m.
Okay.
And we're always like, we want to watch the sunset on the boat.
Yeah.
And so we figured out we can do multiple day, and that means that we could be out there in the night in the sunset. So next time we will have to do that for sure. But it was very fun. We did not see Normie. Unfortunately, he is, I don't remember what episode we covered him on, but I did cover him. But we did not see him. But I did, when you're out there on Lake Norman, I also have a Lake Norman episode, because Lake Norman has so many.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Legends and cryptids and so much stuff. So on the boat, there's like a map, GPS situation. Yeah. And I guess because their boat's like rented on Lake Norman, it actually shows you where like the old streets are underneath Lake Norman. and where the old roads are. And so, like, Trey was driving the boat, and he was like, that used to be a road, and it's completely, like, water now.
That's crazy.
It was so cool. It was, I mean, like, it's so sad to think that all that stuff is just, like, still down there.
Yeah,
but,
no, that is crazy. Oh, my gosh, to think about.
Yeah, it was wild.
Okay, backing up to when you were saying bring the boat out at night, though.
Yeah.
You gave me a flashback to, actually, I think this was the same trip you were there for when we went to hang out with my Aunt Christy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got there a day before you.
You did.
Yeah, so the first night, we all went out on the boat at night, and it was like there were tons of boats out in the water because they were doing fireworks, and it was so cool to be out in the water where they're doing fireworks, and yeah, so we should do something like that. And also that was 4th of July, like, okay,
4th of July.
I'm not doing anything for, like, we gotta start planning it.
We're off.
Yeah,
too.
Like,
okay, big 4th of July plans.
Okay. Listen, we're pulling up the calendar because let me check real quick.
We're making plans
4th of
live.
July is on. Okay.
It's on Friday.
It is on a Friday, but why do I feel like I have multiple days off for 4th of July? That might be a lie.
I think I definitely only have one.
Okay, at least a 3-day weekend. Listen, we're
getting a boat.
doing it.
We're getting a boat. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Listen, I'm down. I didn't even want to leave the boat as it was. I was not ready to get off.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I was begging the kid. Because, yes, it's kids, in case you didn't know.
Really?
Like, pulling in the boats, which is just insane to me.
Yeah.
But I was like, please let me stay. And he was like, no. And I was like, whatever. I get it. But I just still, I wanted it.
Yeah.
But one last thing we have for you guys. Of course, it's a movie review.
Yes,
if you know us, we're A-listers, so obviously we have to go see the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this past week, we saw The Phoenician Scheme by Wes Anderson. Savannah, rated out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Oh, my, okay. Okay.
What do you give it?
I was going to say 6.
Oh.
Or maybe even 6.5. I thought you were going to rate it higher.
No, honestly, I don't know. I do enjoy Wes Anderson's movies because they're like, okay, if you've ever seen them, they're literally every single frame, like, you could probably take a picture of it and, like, hang it up, and it's just beautiful. And that's that's pretty much the whole point of his movies. Like, that's how he does them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like that part of it. But also, after the movie, you and Garrett were both telling me, like, how it has no plot. And I was like, you're kind of right. It didn't really have a plot.
Like
it didn't.
It did, but the plot was really stupid. Like,
yeah.
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, sometimes it's funny when the plot is stupid.
Yeah.
But there was just so much going on and also, that it just seemed important.
Yes, and it didn't really make sense totally.
Fully. And I think that's mostly the thing with Wes Anderson movies that I don't totally love is that they never really make sense.
Yeah.
They do
and maybe that's the point. I don't know.
I think it is the point. Okay. I do think it is the point. But they look phenomenal. Like 10 out of 11 out of 10 for the sights of the movie.
Yeah.
But the plot was like 1 out of 10. So that's why we're landing at like 6 on this because it was, I mean, it wasn't bad though. I will say it's probably one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies, but I just don't personally love Wes Anderson. But what's his name? Guillermo del Toro?
Yes.
He killed it.
Yep.
I loved him in it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say that one scene really stuck with me.
The which scene?
He's like, what?
Oh, I know.
He just kept going. He kept going. And I was like, is this man ever going to stop?
Yeah.
I loved it. And now I keep saying that, like, as like a saying.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But anyway, The Phoenician Scheme. Who knows what movie we're going to see this week?
Okay, honestly, even though we're rating it 6.5, like, go see it. Because I feel like it's still
it was a good
time.
I did have a good time. I did. I mean, I'll see any movie.
Recommend?
Yeah, I would recommend. But just know going in, like, that's what it's. You're going for the vibe.
For the aesthetics.
Not for the movie plot. You're going for the vibes and the aesthetics. For sure. But yeah, that's that on that. Before we get into our stories Savannah, if you want to pull the tarot card of the week.
Oh my gosh, why do I always forget?
Did you forget?
Dang, yes, I almost forgot.
What in the world? I could not ever forget. It's the time of the week where we're pulling a tarot card for you, and we're going to determine how our week's going to go, guys. Last week, it was like our first really, really, really positive card. And I will say, like, yeah, that's true. My week was pretty positive.
It was.
So, card ASMR.
I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it.
No, I had confidence. Give me that book. I'll give the people a little bit more ASMR while we're here. Oh. I did that last week, and honestly, I'm sorry if you guys don't like it, but I loved it listening back. I really did. I was like, wow. Oh, that was a good one, too.
All right.
You're getting better at shuffling them, too.
Now with intention. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The Hermit reversed.
Oh my gosh. We normally do not get face cards.
I feel like this is good reversed.
Yeah, I do too. Sorry, guys. I'm struggling. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh no. What is it? Oh no.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Okay. So the Hermit in general, let me tell you what the card is in general first. Yeah. So the Hermit advises you that now is a time for reflection. You must look inward for truth and wisdom. For you... Oh, Vroom Vroom by Charlie XCS. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway.
Dang, get...
Vroom Vroom Vroom. Somebody play Vroom Vroom. And before I even read the rest of this, I have to say, Taylor, when we were driving that boat on Lake Norman, she was like, I want to go as fast as I possibly can, just once. And so we like had to go to an area where there was no boats.
Yes.
And she does it, and I play Vroom Vroom by Charlie XCX. And it was such a vibe. Anyway. Moving past the vrooms. The Hermit. You must look inward for truth and wisdom because you have all the wisdom and knowledge that you need inside. Okay. Be calm and reflective. Do not let the outside world distract you from the messages you hold within.
Okay, period.
So now reversed.
I know, I'm scared. The way that you...
Isolation, foolishness, withdrawal, and depression.
No,
and
there's
I don't
no
want.
way
Listen,
that's true.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't want to say that I know that that's true, but I do know that that's true, and I know that that happened because of the intentions that I accidentally put in those cards earlier. Like, we were actually having a conversation, and I was like, she was like, "How do you think the tarot cards are gonna go?" And I was like, "I think they're gonna go bad because I've been having a bad day," and I was like, "I think they're gonna go bad," and so I'm the one that caused that to happen. So sorry about that. But you know what? Next week, it'll be something better. So we're only going up from here, right? That's all I got.
Wait, should we pull the second one?
Do it.
Pull just the second one on top.
Yeah.
Did I? Oh, I already. That's still the Hermit. We're doing the next one.
She said it's the Hermit.
Okay. Wait. I'm gonna shuffle again because that was one for last week somehow.
Wait, what? That's so weird. It's like stop. It's literally telling you to stop. It's like don't pull another card.
Right.
Well, we have to. Okay.
Okay.
Savannah, that is a sign. Okay,
that's literally the same card again. Queen of Pentacles.
Put them away. That is a sign. For me, that's 3 cards in a row that you pulled. That's the same card. Put them away. Put them away.
Maybe I'm just bad at shuffling. Probably.
Now that too could be true.
Yeah. One of these days you have to try.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I could shuffle the cards. Maybe we don't want my intentions because we saw what I caused this time. Anyway, before you get into your story, Savannah, if you do not mind, please go not review. I was about to talk about my work. That's how long of a day it's been for me, guys. Oh, no. Please go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But if you want to get into your story, Savannah.
Okay. All right. This one is going to be a doozy, kind of.
Ooh, we love a doozy.
So, I'm going to be talking about the Lemp Mansion.
Okay. Lemp Mansion. We be limping in the mansion. I'm feeling like they're going to play some Limp Biscuit. We'll see, I guess.
L-E-M-P.
Oh, okay. No Limp
yeah.
Biscuit.
Lemp.
Unless it's L-E-M-P Biscuit.
Yeah. Okay, so this mansion is in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
I said that a little bit weird. Missouri. Um, it's in Benton Park. If you're from that area, you probably know.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah, I don't know.
We know I
Never
don't know
really
nothing
been there.
about the Midwest. Sorry.
This house was built in 1890.
Old.
So it goes back some time, you know.
Yeah.
It is a mansion, so it's pretty big. It has 33 rooms.
Pretty big. That's huge.
It's 3 stories, and it is like 6,000 square feet.
Imagine cleaning
It's
that.
pretty big. Yeah, I know, right? This mansion also includes, this is wild. You're gonna be like, what the heck? Like, yeah. This mansion also includes an underground cavern.
Okay. I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but it was not that.
I knew you were gonna be like, what? Underground cavern with a ballroom, an auditorium, and a swimming pool in the caverns.
That seems scary to me. Like,
and I looked up pictures and I was like, okay, did they just like put rooms inside? Is it like
right?
It looks just how you would think it would look.
Okay.
Like a cave, but also it's like
with rooms.
Yeah.
That's so weird. That would scare me so bad if that was my house, because I would never think I was safe. I would think that people were under there, like in caverns, like coming up to get me.
Well, I mean, I bet it's like closed off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe, but like if anybody's seen the movie The Barbarian, you know.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more I can say about that, but you know. It doesn't even matter if people can't, like, things might already be down there. Dun, dun,
dun. So this mansion was home to the Lemp family. They were the wealthiest family in the area, and they made their money from their beer company.
Tea.
Yeah.
I mean beer.
Beer. And it's now a restaurant and an inn.
Still with the caverns underneath it? I mean, I guess they just don't go away.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's crazy.
So yeah, you can stay here because it's an inn.
Oh, so. In Missouri. Okay.
Okay, so after that, let's get into the family that lived there, and we'll eventually get to the ghosts that haunt this place, because yes, it's haunted.
I did assume, yes.
So, Johann Lemp, he goes by Adam, so we'll just call him Adam. He was born in 1798 in Germany. And he came to the U.S. in 1836, and he moved to St. Louis and started a grocery store called A. Lemp & Co. Family Grocery.
Nice.
So that's how he started off in the U.S. He sold groceries, and he made his own vinegar and beer to sell.
Nice.
Which, I don't know why I thought it was a little strange to make and sell your own vinegar, because I was like, how do you even make vinegar?
Well, it's probably because it's like you make it the same way as beer.
Yeah, no, actually, that does make sense, yeah.
And I think maybe it's even a byproduct. Like maybe because you're making the beer, it's making vinegar. And so he's like, well, might as well sell them both.
Yeah, no, it probably is. Okay. Okay, so he sold those, and his beer started to get very popular.
Nice.
The beer company was called Western Brewery, and there was an increase in the German population in the area, and he's German. So people liked his beer because it was a German beer.
Totally.
He actually was the first to produce a German lager in America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, this was the 1800s, so before a lot of the innovations, you know.
Wow.
And before he introduced this, it was really just English ales and porters, which is like the kind of beers that I don't really like.
I don't like any beer, so all of that sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So he brought in like a kind that was like way better.
Yeah.
So I can see why it got very popular pretty fast. And he also used a cave to store the beer. So that's what the caverns were for, actually. So he used the caverns to store the beer because it gave it natural refrigeration.
It's cold down there.
Yes. And actually 40 different breweries in the area used caves to refrigerate their beer, which is like really, it's an innovation.
That's crazy. Also, I don't really think I realized how many caves there were in Missouri. Like,
right.
you know?
Like, I don't know if they all use the same ones or.
Right. Maybe they
like,
are all connected. And that's
yeah.
even, see, back to my point. There we go.
I guess so. Okay, so next, his son, William J. Lemp. So he was also born in Germany in 1835. So this was like right before they moved to the US. So I guess he was probably like what, like 1 or 2 when they moved to the US.
Wow.
And eventually he grows up, he went to St. Louis University and he worked at Western Brewery, his dad's company. And then he left to form a partnership with another brewer and they started their own brewery for a little bit.
Nice.
He then enlisted in the US Army in 1861. And he achieved the rank of orderly sergeant, which I didn't really look up what that meant, but
yeah, I don't know.
It means something.
Sergeant definitely means like some kind of a leader.
Right, yeah. In the same year that he enlisted, he married his wife Julia Fickert. And the brewery company was thriving. His like the family one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did end up going back to the original, like the Western Brewery.
Yeah, nice.
So it was thriving. They were making tons of money. And that's, how they have this like big mansion. Because they're like, okay, guys, we're rich. So
as they should.
Yeah. All right. And then getting to his son, actually.
Oh, we have the whole family tree.
We're literally, this is the family tree. Okay. William J. Lemp Jr.
Ooh, so Willie Jr.
Junior and senior. So Junior, he goes by Billy.
Oh, Willie Billy. Mm-hmm.
Nice. He eventually took over as president of the brewing company and he inherited the fortune. He married his wife Lillian and had a child with her, William III. So there's 3.
There's so many Willies.
Yes. And Lillian, actually, she had her own nickname. So she became known as the Lavender Lady.
Oh.
Because she just loved the color lavender.
And listen, purple people do love purple.
Yeah, like that's all she would wear is like lavender, and I think her room was decked up with it.
As we say here, the purple people in question.
Yes, no, literally. So she just loves lavender. So that was her little nickname.
Love that. Also, I think it's hilarious that there's now a Willie, 2 Willies, and a Billy and a Lily.
Yes. No, yes, I didn't even put that together. The Lily. Yeah. So Lily and Billy. So Billy told his wife Lily that she needed to. Okay.
I know.
He told her that she needed to spend her time shopping.
I need a man like Willie.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I literally.
But it goes kind of bad from here.
Oh no. Okay, I rescind that immediately.
Because he was kind of like giving her this just because he wanted her to like be busy all the time so he could be out doing like mischievous things.
Oh, Willie. Well, you know what? I just need a man who will be like, spend your time shopping, please.
That's what literally. Okay, so he said this to her, like, yeah, go shop, and he said he gave her $1,000 a day to spend, and this was in the 1800s, and like the 1890s.
My jaw is on the floor.
And then he said that she needed to spend all of it, or she wouldn't get any more.
Can this please be my problem?
Like, yeah, it does sound great, but he's up to something. Like, I guess you don't care.
I don't know what it is, so I'm like, I don't care at this moment in time.
Well, basically, he just would go down into the caverns and have parties and cheat on her with a bunch of ladies of the night. And yeah, just do a bunch of bad things down in the caverns.
Listen, I told you from the beginning I didn't have a good feeling about those caverns at all. Yeah. I just figured there was not going to be nothing good happening down there.
Yeah. So, Billy, he's not doing anything good down there.
Oh, Billy.
So anyways, he's having these parties, and of course, what happens when you cheat? You can get someone pregnant. So
oh, wow. I was like, you get caught. But That's worse.
Yeah.
That's
so
actually
he ends up
worse.
having a son out of wedlock.
I bet his name's not Willie.
Is it out of wedlock when, like,
You're not
you
married.
are married,
When you're-
but not to that person?
It's out of wedlock when you're not married to the person. So it's out of wedlock and cheating. And it's both.
Right.
Like, but it would still be wedlock even if they were just two people who were not married.
Yeah.
And, like, no cheating occurred.
Okay. Yeah, so he ends up with a son. Another son. But this part just gets me, because there's no official documentation that he existed, because he wanted to hide him.
Okay, why? I mean, I know why, but, like...
Well, there's another reason why, too.
No.
He was born with a disability. He was born with Down syndrome.
You're literally kidding me. My heart is actually breaking in half right now.
I know.
I actually hate Willie. I take back everything.
I know. So there's no official documentation that he existed, but there are rumors that the boy was hidden in the mansion for his whole life, in the attic.
That's so miserable. That's so horrible.
There's a historian that claims to have, like, interviewed a nanny that used to work there, and she verified that this boy existed. So, like, it's kind of just word of mouth.
Yeah. Like, if you saw him, you would know.
But a lot of people say, like, yeah, he did exist.
Wow.
And so, yeah, like, this, I guess, I mean, it was his dad, but then also probably the rest of the family too was just, like, so sad to say, embarrassed to have this son.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if it's probably a mix of him being, like, he cheated, and then also, like, he has a disability.
100%.
Because, like, back then the disability thing is just, like,
yeah,
they would do that with a lot of people with disabilities, just lock them up in the house,
like every single person with a disability.
Yeah,
it's just horrible.
Yes. So,
and his whole life too, like, oh yeah, God.
And unfortunately, like, there's not a lot more to say about it, because, like, there's not much documented about him.
Write down that he is alive and is a person, like, so of course that's just horrible.
Yeah. So, you know, Lillian and Billy, they get divorced.
Good.
After all this happens.
That's honestly shocking for that time period too.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. In 1908. And also, this got me too. Lillian almost lost custody of their son, William III, because the judge, like, they showed a picture in court of Lillian smoking a cigarette.
Oh my God.
And they're like, you're not fit to be a mother.
Guys, she needed that cigarette so bad.
Meanwhile, her husband's out partying, cheating, doing all this stuff. And it's like, oh, but he's a man.
Yeah, yeah, right. He's a man. I'm rolling my eyes so hard. If you're not watching the video, my eyes are rolling into the back of my head.
Yeah. But, you know, that didn't end up happening. She did end up getting custody of him.
Good.
So that's, yeah, good. So the back to the brewing company. We're now getting into the 1920s. And, you know, obviously this business is suffering because what happened in the 1920s? Prohibition.
I was going to say the Great Depression.
The Great Depression, but also Prohibition.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time for anybody back then.
Honestly, yeah. So I think they did. I read something, they tried to, like, sell a alcohol-free beer. Yeah. You know?
Who wants that?
Right, and that's kind of what happened. They were like,
why don't they just drink in the caverns?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would do. No, I mean, I would never do anything illegal if that was illegal, but, like.
And this is when the brewery, it was sold at an auction to the International Shoe Company, which I don't really understand that, but I guess I think it's just, like, the building that it was in was sold to them.
That makes sense.
And after all of this bad stuff happening in William Jr.'s life, he decided that he just couldn't go on. And unfortunately, he took his own life.
No. Oh my God.
In his office in the house in 1922.
That's horrible.
So, yes.
Big bad. It's just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so next person I'm going to talk about is Elsa Lemp Wright. So she is the youngest child of William Sr., and she married Thomas Wright, who was president of the Moore Jones Brass and Metal Company in 1910. And there, honestly, there's way more information on the sons than there is on the daughter.
I mean, of course there is. Again, rolling my eyes very hard.
Right. So they did get married, but then they did file for divorce. She cited mental and physical health.
Yikes.
In February of 1910. So I guess
that did not last very long, did it?
Now that I'm looking, I'm like, did she get married and divorced the same year?
Like, right.
I'm confused.
I think so.
Did I write down the wrong year? I don't know. Very close to her marriage, either way.
Yikes.
And the divorce was granted, but they soon reconciled. Oh, I think okay, we're backing up here. They filed for divorce in February of 1919, I believe.
Okay, so
and then it was granted, and they reconciled and remarried in March of 1920. So like,
hold on, whoa.
In the next year, they got remarried again.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, that's giving Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, they're actually like, yeah, it is kind of, yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
But actually, later that same month that they got remarried, on March 20th, Elsa, she also took her own life.
What?
She shot herself.
Wait, is that William's aunt or sister? The one that also...
Sister.
My God.
Wait. Why do I feel like I'm missing a key detail here?
That I do not know. But that is so crazy. And also having two people dying of suicide very close, like not that far from each other, is horrible in one family. And in the house too. Did she do it in the house too?
Yes.
Oh.
And also, okay. Backing it up. Yeah, so I don't know why I didn't have this written down. Their dad, William Lemp Sr., he also shot himself. So 3 of them.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, there's 3 of them. Why am I missing one? Yeah.
Wait, when did the dad do it? Before or after they did it?
He did it first. 1904. 1904, and then Elsa 1920.
Yeah. Wow. The brother was William was first. He was well in 1922. Oh, interesting. That's bad. And I'm like, because on one hand you're like, okay, is it like she said mental illness? Yeah. So like maybe it just runs in the family.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, honestly,
it
kind of does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But some do say that this is a murder that's masked as a suicide, and honestly that could be the case because okay, if your brother and your dad committed suicide and then you did, it's like okay, it's not unlikely for this to happen because you're right, it could run in the family.
And because they divorced over mental illness, so he's like, oh well, she's already used that excuse.
Yes. And also, yeah, like what if they divorced, got back together, and he's like, actually I still hate you.
Right. And what if he did it on purpose?
Yes.
That's
what I mean. Yeah.
Oh, like the whole because even like I'm like, I feel like I'm sure it has happened, right? It's never happened to anybody in my life. As I said, it's in Desperate Housewives, a TV show. Yeah. But like I can't imagine people getting divorced and like getting remarried. That's crazy. That's like
yeah.
That's wild. So
yeah.
That's tea right there. Not blaming him if he didn't do it, but I kind of that's a little suspicious, sir. Do you know if he was ever like investigated for that, or is that just like our theory?
It's just a theory. Like, I don't think he ever was. No.
Dang, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't... It's not that I hope that she committed suicide, but I hope she wasn't murdered either.
I know.
Ugh, I don't know. That's hard. That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we've gone through 3 of the Lemp children. There are still 2 more.
Oh.
This is a big family. So Charles Lemp, the 3rd son of William Sr.
Now the oldest?
What was that?
Is he now the oldest one? It actually doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I was just curious.
I'm not sure actually. So he's the third son of William Sr. and the final son to live in the mansion. So he ended up leaving. He was working for the brewery too, like they all did. And he left it in 1917 before all the prohibition and stuff happened. And he went into banking and finance actually. He did not ever get married. He lived with his dog in the mansion.
I love that.
With 2 servants, and the servants were a married couple.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. Why did I never think that could be like a thing? Because I always think like
right.
The people who live in the house to serve, they're working to serve the people who live there. I'm like, okay, they're giving up their whole life, but no, like they're married, they can still live there.
Yeah, work there together. That's cool.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to go. Because I've just never really thought about it. Because, okay, have I ever met a servant? No.
Right.
Like, I'm not rich enough to be like...
Very true. Yeah. We wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so in April of 1941, he sent a letter to a funeral home requesting that in the case of his death, his remains should be taken by ambulance to the Missouri crematory, and his body should not be bathed, closed, or changed, and his ashes should be put into a wicker box and buried on his farm.
Okay, well, that is very specific.
Yes.
But okay.
And I had the number wrong, I think, because 8 years later, after he sent this message, he also shot himself in the head.
I thought we were done with that, honestly.
I know. Honestly, I kind of forgot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all did it like I just...
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of suicide in this family. And he left a note. And the note said, "In case I am found dead, blame it on no one but me."
Oh, well, at least he cleared up his death,
Yeah, I know.
That's horrible, though. That just his whole family is just...
I know. It's really sad.
It's so sad.
Okay. We're going to talk about one more person. Edwin Lemp. He is the only surviving son of William Sr.
He survived.
And he was the youngest son.
Okay. Baby Edwin.
Yes. So it was him and then his sister, Elsa. So, because she was the youngest and he was the youngest son. So he actually, he lived his full life and he ended up retiring and had a huge estate and dedicated himself to charitable causes. One of the big causes was the zoo. So he would donate money to the zoo.
Love that.
And he, died normally, just of old age at the age of 90.
I'm so happy to hear that from you right now.
I know. In 1970. And his last order to his caretaker was to destroy his art collection and family heirlooms.
What? That's weird.
I know.
He's like, if I can't have it, nobody else can?
Yeah, like, I don't know if it's that or are you hiding something?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Could be that, too. Could be that.
I don't know. But after all of this, like, this wealthy family line died off because
no more money.
Of all of the... No, there's no more people.
Yeah, but he got rid of the heirlooms, though, too.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So there's nothing left.
Maybe that's why, because he didn't have anyone to leave it to.
Maybe.
Because
everybody else is gone.
Yeah, nobody else in the family really was left.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's just...
That's crazy.
This story is crazy.
It's really sad.
I didn't even get to the ghosts yet.
I know.
It's just like,
I know.
It's just a crazy story. Like,
this place has so much history. But also, like, you have to think, like, of course, yeah, it could be mental illness, but could it also be something with the house?
Oh, maybe.
Like, we don't know. They're gone. But, like, it could have been. They all live there. All the ones that did commit suicide, so...
I don't know. All of the ghosts that I'm going to talk about, they are the family, though. Yeah. So it's not like there's anybody that was there before them that's haunting it. But, I mean, maybe there is just something in there.
Yeah, or, like, the caverns. Or maybe it's, like, you know, the alcohol. I'm saying.
Okay, so getting into the ghosts here, the Lemp mansion is said to be haunted by several members of the family. We're going to start in the attic with the son, William Jr.'s illegitimate son.
Oh my god. I forgot they kept it in the attic.
This kills me to say what I'm about to say, because people do have a nickname for him, and I hate it.
Okay, what is it?
He is referred to as the monkey face boy.
For the third time today, I am rolling my eyes.
I know.
As far back in my head as I can.
Because also, like, we don't know his name. We don't know.
That's insane, actually. Like, can we just call him Willie number 4?
Right.
Like, you guys aren't even fun with names. You're just picking the same name.
Exactly. So, yes, he was... They call him that, I don't really understand it. But I mean... Just because he was born with a disability and stuff. And he has Down syndrome. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, he spent his life locked in the attic, and ghost investigators have tried to communicate with him, and they've left toys in there, and every time toys are left in there, the next day they're moved somewhere else in the room. So he's up there playing around. Yeah. People also see him in the windows up there. So yeah, he's in there.
That's sad that he's in there still.
I know.
To me, like, hope maybe it's just like residual. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. And I just wonder, like, when he lived there, like, did anyone come and visit him all the time?
Like, was he by himself up there? Or, like, could he leave the attic? Like, could he, like, it's 33 rooms.
Yeah.
It's huge. Why can he not at least be on the second and third floor? Maybe not the first. If, like, you know? Like, good Lord, that's insane.
Okay, moving on to the next room, the downstairs women's bathroom. This room was actually, it wasn't always a bathroom. It used to be William Jr.'s it says personal domain. I'm guessing like an office or something, just his room.
Yeah.
And in recent years, you know, now that this place is an inn and restaurant, there was one time a woman was in the bathroom and she went back to the bar, and she said to the two men that she was like with there, she was like, I hope you got an eyeful. Like, just saying, like, you went into the bathroom and saw me, you know? And they were like, we didn't move. Like, we've been here this whole time. And the bartender's like, yeah, like, they've been here. So
there's a man in the woman's bathroom?
Yeah, she thought that they had gone in there. But people say that this was actually the ghost of William Jr. who was in there.
Willie, get out of the bathroom. Get out of the women's bathroom.
It's because he's like the womanizer.
But it's also his domain.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's that, and also he's like the womanizer. Yeah, the cheater. He's like gonna be hanging out with all the ladies.
That's sick and twisted, Willie.
It is kind of. All right. Moving on to the lavender room. Named after Lillian, of course.
Of course.
Lillian is seen in here. I went and looked for like people who had been here on Reddit, and somebody gave an account, and they said that they kept feeling the covers getting pulled down by their feet, and they smelled perfume like really strong in this room.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they said the perfume smelled like it had been sprayed like in their face.
Oh, strong then. That's insane. Yeah.
Somebody else said that they got up in the middle of the night in this room to use the bathroom, and they saw a woman in a Victorian era maroon dress sitting on the edge of the bathtub facing them. Yeah.
I would be so scared of that, even if they were just chilling.
I know.
Because, like, you think they're people. Like, that lady in the bathroom, she just thought it was somebody from the bar.
Right.
Like, it's not like you're like, oh, that's a ghost
but
sitting
it's also
on the
like
tub.
Okay, but it's also like the outfits they're wearing. It's like, why would somebody be wearing
true.
that?
That's very true. Unless, I mean, maybe they're dressed up. But yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. In William Lemp Sr.'s room, guests have reported hearing somebody running up the stairs and kicking at the door. And this is because when William killed himself, it is said that William Jr. ran up the stairs to his father's room and found it locked and started to kick the door in to get to his dad.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's just like, that is one of the ones. What is the
residual
haunting called? Yeah, when they just replay the same thing over and over again.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yes, that's just like a PTSD flashback.
Yeah. Constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I have a few others. Several years ago, there was like a tour going on, right? And the tour guide actually said that they heard sounds of horses outside of the room where William Sr. Had his office.
Oh, okay.
And this tour guide, they look out the window and don't see anything. Like, it's not like there's horses out there or anything. But in this area, which is north of the mansion, it's now used as a parking lot, but it was used as a tethering lot for horses. So it used to be a horse parking lot.
Wow.
Which is so also strange to think about, that there used to be like a horse parking.
Yeah. It is crazy, but also at my aunt's house, there's still a horse parking lot. So I know
that.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. So that's residual too. There's a lot of residuals in here.
Yeah. I think maybe we can just hope that they're all residual and nobody's actually stuck here.
Yes.
Specifically, the little boy in the attic.
Yeah, I know. So this mansion has been featured in several different magazine articles, newspapers. Ghost hunters go to it all the time. I need to check. Actually, I didn't check if Ghost Adventures have been there.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah. And it is like, a restaurant, an inn, or, it's also referred to as bed and breakfast, whatever. I couldn't get exactly what they call it themselves. People have called it both, bed and breakfast, and also just like I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Restaurant and inn. I don't know. Either way. And the rooms are restored in their period style. So it's like just like when they were there. You can go and see it. And the restaurant features fine dining.
Oh.
And there's also a mystery dinner theater, which is really cool.
That's really cool. Is that in the caverns?
No, it's in the house.
I just want to go in the caverns.
There's also tours available, so you probably can go.
Oh, probably can.
And they have a haunted tour, and it's called the Lemp Experience.
Ooh. So. Listen, I'm kind of trying to experience the Lemp Experience.
Honestly,
that's a lot. That's like really a lot, and I'm very, 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 very curious about the caverns.
I know.
Situation.
Yeah, here, wait. Can I pull up a picture of the caverns?
Yeah, I really want. First of all, if you know me, I don't even think I've ever said this on here, but I love a cavern. I really don't like hiking like that, but I will if there's a cavern.
Okay.
No! Oh no! No!
It's like, because it has like things, so it's kind of like a room.
Chills all over my body.
But I'm also like, were there more lights down there? Like, this one has lights. But some of these photos don't really, it doesn't look like there's like...
Yeah, that's lights. Horrifying.
But I mean, at least they would have like candles down there, right?
I mean, I would really hope so. I don't know how else they would see. Ew. That's crazy. I was honestly not expecting it to look that creepy for some reason.
Honestly, I didn't think it would either.
I thought it would be more like, it's like kind of built up down there. I thought it would kind of just be more like rocks and natural.
Kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh, creepy. Very creepy.
So yeah, that's the Lemp Mansion, and that listen, that story had a lot to get into, and honestly, I probably could have went even deeper into it, but
that's seriously crazy. Well,
you're in for a long haul.
How does one even move on? I don't know. Yeah, you are.
Because we're already pretty far into this thing.
Really? Well, buckle up, guys, because I don't have a short one for you either.
Oh, okay.
I have a really crazy story for you, actually,
okay,
too.
Let's do it.
I love when we both have really crazy stories.
I know.
So I have for you the legend of the Dunhill Hotel.
Okay.
Quick fun fact for you guys. This week and this story has really taken me on the biggest roller coaster of my life, okay?
Really?
Over the weekend, I already mentioned 100 times, I went to Lake Norman, and it was great. It was fun. And I was there with my friends, and we were driving, actually, to go get on the boat. And I see this giant house that somehow, I don't know how I haven't really seen it before, because I go there pretty often to see them. And it's this big house, like at least 3 or 4 stories, and it's bright red, but it's kind of like dilapidated, deteriorated, you know, and it just looks a little haunted. You know, some houses give the vibe. And I was like, why does that house look so creepy?
Right.
Like, have you guys heard of that house? And they're like, yeah, that house is weird. As they're saying that, we drive by it. It's not just a regular house. No, from the front, you see like this red, creepy, haunted house. From the side, as I'm driving by it, you expect to see the back of the red house, right?
Okay, yeah.
No. Instead of the back of the red house, you can see like the top of the red house, but connected to the back of it, there's a second house, and it's a white house, completely different style.
Okay.
But they're connected. They're like cat dog houses. And that's when they tell me, my friends, that actually there's another house on the other side that you can't see, and it's 3 full entire houses connected into one.
What?
And I said, huh? What are you talking about? Because it was crazy enough to even see the 2 connected like that, because they're not the same color. They're not the same style. Nothing is similar about them, but they are physically connected into one. And I was like, okay, interesting. And then they proceeded to tell me, oh yeah, they used to like show tours of this place and blah, blah, blah. And maybe it's like haunted. And I'm like, whoa.
What? And they never told you about this?
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, okay. But they were like, well, we tried to look it up and we couldn't find it. I didn't believe him. I was like, I feel like y'all didn't look hard enough.
Right.
I was wrong. I spent like an hour and a half typing in every single word possible that I could. And you would think that that's not a hard house to look up. I can't find it. Can't even find like a Zillow listing for the house, let alone anything
That's weird.
about the house. Like, no information. And I was like, okay, interesting. So no luck with that. So if you live in the Lake Norman area and you know what I'm talking about and you have information, can you please let me know? Because I'm very curious about that. Even if it's not haunted, I would love to know why there are 3 combined houses together on the street. It's really weird. So then I was like, okay, let me try to find another story. Found another story, did the research. They're in horrible controversy, this place. And I was like, okay, first of all, now's not the time for anything with controversy, but I'm not going to promote a place that is having controversy, so we had to start over for a third time. Third time's the charm. And I found the story of the Dunhill Hotel. Okay? So, let's get on into it. It also is located in Charlotte, North Carolina, very close to us. And this hotel is actually a member of the Historic Hotels of America.
Okay.
Very protected nowadays, very historic. Okay. It was originally built in 1929, and it was originally called the Mayfair Manor Hotel Apartments.
Okay.
Which I'm like, what is a hotel apartment? And I'll get into it. But it was designed in a classical revival style, and it had 10 floors and 100 rooms when it was first open. And it was open to both permanent guests and transient people, which means homeless people. So they let like homeless people and like people who were renting long term stay in this hotel. So it wasn't really a hotel at first. It was kind of like an apartment building. But also you could just stay like 1 or 2 nights, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. It's honestly kind of giving, like, only murders in the building. You know?
Kind of. Yeah.
Because that kind of looks like a hotel to me.
Yeah.
You know? But apartments. But over time, as I'm sure you can imagine, the property deteriorated. And by 1981, it was closed. And it remained vacant for several years after that. Which is crazy. But it did get bought, and the new owners, Brad Holcomb and Doug Patterson, they renovated the hotel for $6 million.
Yep. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. And it reopened in 1988. So that's a lot of money, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, in 1991 is when, that had been 3 years since they had reopened and done the remodel. And that is when the Dunhill was accepted into the Historic Hotels of America. But tragically, very tragically, the renovated hotel had trouble keeping business, and they filed for bankruptcy. So in 1991, the same year that it was dedicated to, into the Historic Hotels of America, it was sold to developers. For guess how much money? So even though they just bought it and then put $6 million more into it, it sold for $2 million. To developers.
No way.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Big price cut. Well, we'll see. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. I'm skipping a lot of historical information. Just giving you some building information right now. So, these developers that bought it for the $2 million, they still own it today.
Okay.
And in 2017, the hotel won an award for being the best historic small hotel/inn. Which I'm like, okay, that's crazy. How have I never heard of this place before?
Right, yeah.
It's not even that far from us. And in 2019, this is just hilarious to me, they start another renovation. This time, $2 million. They said, the exact amount that we paid for it, we'll just go ahead and we'll restore it. We'll redo it. That's big, honestly. Very big. So that is kind of the history of the hotel a little bit. But, of course, the reason I'm telling you this story is because this hotel is very haunted. Very, very, very haunted. And that is why it's on the Historical Register of Hotels, obviously. So, when this place first opened, as I said, it was being ran as apartments. And at the time, this building was one of the tallest buildings in Charlotte.
Okay.
And it did not take long for this place to become a popular jumping off spot.
What is that
for
mean?
Mostly suicidal businessmen.
No, what? Oh my God.
I know.
Stop.
It's bad. It's reported that dozens.
Okay.
I know.
How do we both have stories that have to...
When you were saying that, I was sitting here like, God, we did it again. How did we do it again? How did we do this?
No, and this is like the worst possible way we could have done it.
I'm saying.
It's so horrible.
I'm saying, guys, seriously, I'm gonna put some phone numbers. Like, actually, seriously, if you need
We're
help
gonna
with that,
yeah, we got a hotline down.
We got a hotline in the comments. Okay,
Please.
That's actually serious. No jokes at all. Like, it will be there.
Yeah, no joke.
But yeah, so it unfortunately, because it was the tallest building in the city, it did not take long for it to become the popular jumping off point for suicidal businessmen, and that is because this is during the Great Depression, which is the same exact time period of your story. Which is why I said that earlier, because I was like, well,
yes,
if we're going to connect our stories, we might as well, because
oh my God.
It is. So yeah, it is reported that dozens upon dozens of men took their lives from leaping off the upper floor of the Dunhill in the 1930s. It was horrible. So these men, the reason that we can all, presume is that since they were businessmen in this really big city, they were likely very rich, and then very quickly everything was taken away from everybody during the Great Depression. Everybody became poor.
Yeah.
And so, the only way that they could see out was off the top of this hotel. And as you can imagine, it is said that the spirits of these people have never left this place.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So in the early 1980s, a report came in, and this is kind of known, it's probably not the first, but it's the first big one and the first memorable report that came in from a woman, and she was on a business trip to Charlotte, and she had booked a room on the 10th floor. So she had a full day of meetings. She was super tired once she got back to the hotel, obviously ready for bed. She gets ready for bed. She's pulling back the covers, about to jump in. You know that feeling. Amazing feeling. Yeah. But then she hears very heavy, very, very heavy footsteps above her.
No.
And she's like, okay, why are they running? Like, it's so late. But then she thinks to herself, hold up, wait a minute. I'm on the top floor. There's only 10 floors. God. There's only 10 floors. No. She's like, why is there, it's like midnight, I'm assuming. And she's like, why is there somebody on the roof at midnight? So she goes over to the window in the little balcony and she's like looking out. She's like, hello? Like, is somebody up there? And it was nighttime, very dark, no stars in the sky. And at first she couldn't see anything at all. But then suddenly, a very large, heavy object plummeted off the roof, past her window, and onto the ground. Obviously.
That's horrible.
I know. Obviously, this scares her horribly. And she backs up from the window and she's like screaming, obviously, because who wouldn't? And she couldn't really be sure of what she saw because it all happened so quickly. Mm-hmm. But she was like, I mean, it looked human, you know?
Right. Oh my God.
So she she kind of composed herself, took a big deep breath, walked back up to the window and looks down. And there she sees a crumpled, bleeding body of a man in a suit, and his hat was beside him on the ground. So she obviously reaches for her phone to call 911. The phone that was in the hotel.
Yeah.
And she picks it up. It's nothing but static.
What?
It's like the phone doesn't work. So she is like, okay, fine. So she runs downstairs to the lobby. And she's like freaking out, explaining to the, doorman or whatever. And so they go outside and look. There's no blood. There's no man. There's nothing there.
What?
Nothing. Zero. And the lobby guy is like, lady, you're crazy. Like, you gotta go back up to your room.
I didn't see nothing.
Right, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. And even herself, she's like, maybe I am tired.
Right, yeah.
Like, because there's nothing down here, so, like, maybe I am crazy.
I guess I would convince myself, too.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
That would actually scare me really bad if that happened to me, because I think that would send me into a spiral.
No, seriously.
But, so she obviously had no choice, so she went back up to her room. She tried to get some rest. However, this kept happening.
Oh, no.
All night long. All night long, she would lay down. The second that she lays down, she hears the footsteps. And she's like, oh, my God. Another person is up there? And she's like, now I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So she goes back over to the window, and she's like, well, surely. But then it happens again. It's the same. She sees the same thing. And so, obviously, she doesn't run down there anymore because she's like, I'm not going to embarrass myself further.
Right.
But eventually she does fall asleep after it happens a dozen times, though. Okay? She's like up half the night.
Times.
Yes.
That's, oh my gosh.
Yes. And she only stopped seeing it, I think, because she did eventually like fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, not even that she was trying, though. She just was that exhausted.
Yeah.
So the next day she was like, you know what? I'm going down to the local library because I need to see what's going on. She's like, obviously, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
Like, I need to see if something happened here.
Yeah.
Because she's like, if it happened once, I'm crazy. If it happens 12 times, I'm not crazy. So she goes to the library, and they're able to find her the death records, of the city in the area. And so she just looks, which is really smart. And I'm sure people just did this back in the day. We live in 2025. We can just Google stuff on our phones. But she goes to the exact date of, like, that she's there.
Oh.
Into the newspapers.
Yeah.
Right. And just, like, goes through those. And that's how she's able to find that a man by the name of Alfred P. Forrester actually committed suicide at the Dunhill Hotel exactly 50 years ago, the night that she stayed at the hotel.
That's insane. Yep. No, like, also, thinking about doing research like that is crazy.
God, it would take so long to write our stories. So much longer.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh.
Yeah, she really found
She
it
would have
out.
to look back on
She did.
a bunch of different years.
She did.
You wouldn't know.
No. She was there for hours.
Google, has anybody ever died here?
Yeah, no.
She
had to look through the newspapers. Yep. It's crazy. And so, this has really been seen as proof of this haunting, obviously.
Yeah.
Because, but surely this is not the only ghost we have, Savannah. No. It gets crazy. Obviously, this is not even the first ghost that died of suicide that is said to haunt this place. There are multiple.
Yeah.
But that's just one that's been proven that we know, you know. We don't even know that that was him, but that's the anniversary, so likely it is him.
Right. And, I mean, you did say that this was a popular
It was.
place for it, so
Yep.
I know you're going to talk about more.
Yep. But before I even get into more, it's going to get crazier first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. According to reports, when the Dunhill Hotel went under the renovation in the 1980s, the people who were doing the renovation actually discovered a human skeleton in the basement. Yep. Specifically in the bottom of the elevator shaft.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Horrifying.
To think about. Oh my gosh.
Let me
tell you
this.
And then.
You want to know who found him there? An employee who got paid so little. His name is George Neal. And they were like, go into the basement, busy work. Go into the basement and sweep. And then he found a body. A body.
Oh my God.
He did not get paid enough for that. I already know.
Listen, my job would be paying my therapy bills for the rest of my life.
Getting paid if I'm George in that situation.
Because what do you mean? Oh my God. That's
insane.
Crazy.
To this day, the police do not know how the bones got there, who they belong to, how the person died.
Well, you said it was an elevator shaft. Did they fall down the elevator?
Well, that's the theory. But because it was only bones at that time, it's hard. Like, you can't really say.
To have fallen down and then nobody ever realizes.
Or were they killed and thrown down the elevator shaft? Like, we don't even know.
Yeah, but then also nobody even realizes until you're just bones. Like,
or maybe, you're right. Or maybe people did realize, but they just, like, they're not able to connect who it is, even, you know? Like, it's or, like, maybe they just had no idea. But also at the same time, like, because of all the people who were staying in this hotel, maybe it was just somebody who didn't have family. Like, maybe they were a homeless person.
Yeah.
Or maybe they even, like, thought they should stay under there and they got crushed. I mean, the theories are endless. Because we don't know. And we don't know to this day. But, I lost my spot. Where'd it go? Oh. Okay, so it is said that the owner of the skull did stay behind due to their unfinished business, obviously, at the hotel. Mm-hmm. The only thing that we were able to determine from the bones is that they did belong to a white male that had a limp, as well as a malformation in his left hand. Okay. Now, whether or not, like, I don't know how much of a formation it was in his hand, but, like, they could at least tell skeletally. But, like, you know, on the muscle, I don't know how, like, outwardly visible it was, or if it was just because of bones. It's hard to say. But regardless, even though they had that to go off of, it didn't help them in finding out who it was, even though you would think it was. So that's what makes me think, like, maybe it wasn't, like, as visible as it is with just the bones, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they also could not determine how he died, but his ghost. Let me talk about his ghost, because his ghost is still there.
Okay.
Because the reason why they have connected this ghost to this man is because he seems to envy people who still have their heads attached to them. Because I suppose, like, you know, all of his bones are just scattered and down there.
Yeah.
So when people are in this hotel, they, especially, like, near the bottom floor and in the basement even, they report feeling a strange tingling sensation at the base of their spine, and it moves up into their skull.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they connect that to him. Mm-hmm. Don't love it. Don't love it. I don't even know really what that necessarily feels like, and I don't want to.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't want to. The most haunted room is said to be room 906. One guest who was staying there says that they were lying on the bed one night, and all the lights were off, right? They're, like, trying to fall asleep, but they're not fully asleep yet. And so she's laying in bed. She says all of a sudden, the lights flicker on and off. Like the SpongeBob episode.
I was going to say, literally.
Nosferatu.
And the lights will flicker on and off.
It's the hash-slinging slasher. No, it's not the hash-slinging slasher.
And the walls will ooze green slime.
That's the best episode of SpongeBob. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Because honestly, even my parents hated SpongeBob, but they loved that episode.
It's a good one. It's
fire.
Classic.
Absolute classic. Unfortunately, it wasn't the hash slinging slasher here. Okay. Nope. So as the lights are flickering on and off, obviously she's like, this is hilarious. She's like, I'm in bed and nothing's actually happening. I'm just going to close my eyes and pretend.
She was like saying that to herself.
Yeah, she's
trying to make herself believe.
Yep, she's like, no, the lights aren't flickering on. Or she's like, maybe it's electrical. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what are you going to do at that point? Because it's like.
Right, and nothing's like moving the light. Yeah. So you can't really.
I don't know. Like,
you could take out the bulb, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking about like the time that we had to get a new hotel. But I'm just thinking, if we were already in bed and like it was this kind of issue, would we have done anything? Like, I feel like I would have just been like, it's fine.
No, I would honestly encourage that behavior. Let it be known that we had to escape the hotel we were in because of roaches.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm there for the ghost. Let the ghost come get me. I say that now.
Yeah, that's a different kind of issue.
That's an issue I'm personally trying to have. I don't know about Savannah, but Taylor, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this girl, she's laying in bed. She's like, it's just the electricity. It's fine, you know?
Right, yeah.
But then the lights are still flickering. Okay. Then all of the appliances in the room start going off. The microwave is beeping. The sink, the shower, like things are making noise all over the room and the lights are still flickering.
Ugh, I hate that.
And she's like, okay, what's going on? She's still under the covers. Because honestly, what is she even supposed to do other than that?
No, literally, I'd put my head under the covers.
And she did. Oh. And she did. And she did. And then you know what happened as she's under the covers?
What?
Sorry, I got actual chills when I just even thought about this. She's under the covers. Obviously, things are still beeping and moving. The lights are on and off. She hears this right beside her head on the bedside table. Like tapping. But it's right beside her head on the table. Like her head is here on the pillow. The table's right there and she's like bang, bang, bang. There's like a hand tapping on the table.
Oh no.
No. So at that point, she screams at the top of her lungs and sits up in the bed and she's screaming. Because, I mean, yeah, real.
Yeah, like
honestly,
what else do you do at that point?
It's so real. Oh she sits up. Everything stops. Everything completely stops. The lights are just on. The sink, everything is off. And everything stops. And it's silent. It falls completely silent. She turns and sees what time it is. It's 3 a.m. Yep. And the craziest part is this happens every day in 906. People have reported this exact same thing over and over and over and over again. And they don't know what's caused. I mean, obviously it's the ghost because they've tested everything. It's theoretically, the hotel says, it's not the electricity. It's not us. So, ooh, yikes. So that's 906, room 906. Let's get into another ghost. Dusty. The spirit of Dusty. Most people's experiences here at this hotel are actually blamed on Dusty the ghost. Okay. No one is quite sure when he started making himself known or really like who he even really was when he was alive. Okay. But they just called him Dusty. Most employees say that he is constantly around. Like Dusty does not leave them. He's there all the time. And they kind of they're like, yep, Dusty, he also works with us. Okay. He is known for playing tricks on the living, which is hilarious. He likes to knock on hotel doors when no one is around. So if you're in the Dunhill Hotel and you're in your room and you think some kid is maybe playing ding dong ditch on you, maybe it's actually Dusty because
that's funny.
Yeah, I guess people, this was happening and then eventually they're like, oh, maybe they're like somebody caught it, right after it's happening and they're like, oh, there's nobody running.
Yeah.
Like what? And that's Dusty. That is Dusty. He is also known for moving objects around, like into different rooms, but like they never leave. Like the objects are always in the hotel, but they're like in different rooms on different floors. And he is also mostly known for opening and closing blinds in many different rooms. So like sometimes this is horrible. I know he's just playing tricks, but like imagine you turned you shut the blinds when you go to sleep, you wake up and they're open.
Oh my god.
And it wasn't me nor you.
I would hate that. No.
Disgusting. But funny enough, his antics and things, they always seem to stay pretty close to the elevator. So it is believed, at least by the ghost investigators and the people who work at this hotel, that Dusty the ghost may actually be the ghost of the man in the shaft. And now we don't actually know for sure, but the reason that they say that is because most of the stuff happens like all around, even though it happens all different rooms, all different floors, it happens all kind of around the elevator shaft. So
well, I mean,
it makes sense. It just makes sense.
It does make sense.
It does.
Because an elevator can help you travel to different parts of the
absolutely.
the place. Yeah,
it absolutely can.
Yeah.
Hear me out, Savannah. I think that we should rent room 906 one night and either vlog or try to maybe record an episode in there. It's really not that far from us.
I know, I was going to say, this one's close by.
Like, I'm going to be down there this weekend. Like, I'm not even going to be far from it. So, I mean, and honestly, the ghosts aren't that scary. I mean, listen.
It seems kind of scary.
The first one of the man, you witnessing the man jumping off, that's horrifying. But that woman was staying on the 10th floor. Okay. I'm saying we stay on 906.
What about the one with all the lights going on and up? Like, that's
that's
scary.
906.
Yeah, that's scary.
But, like, what if we get it on video? Worth it. Tell her it's worth
honestly, I would argue that that's scarier. All the stuff happening.
I mean, maybe it's scarier. But I feel like the other one's more traumatic. Like, I would rather be traumatized by the lights.
See, but now that I know this has happened, I'm like, okay, it's obviously just a ghost. Like, I don't really need to.
You're right. You don't have to be
traumatized by this man falling off of the roof, because it's just a ghost.
Yeah, and it has already happened. Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's always a chance where you're like, okay, what if it actually is real?
Right,
like,
because
so maybe I take it back. I don't know.
Like, how would you even really know? Ooh, I don't know.
I think they're both scary.
No, they are, but they're not like scary. Like, we're gonna get attacked. Scary, you know.
I don't know. The one with everything blinking seems attacking.
Okay, so hear me out. This is no theory of anything. This is Taylor's theory. Okay.
Okay.
I honestly think that the ghost in 906 is still Dusty because he likes to play tricks on people. And, like, if you really think about it, yes, that ghost, whoever it was, scared that woman so bad.
Yeah.
But, like, she was by herself. She's a woman. That was a long time ago also. And
okay, see, that sounds like you have to go by yourself this weekend, because you're going to be in
Girl, I'm not going nowhere by myself. Oh, no. No. Because, listen, even when, like, I can't do nothing by myself. Nothing with ghosts. I'm way too afraid to do that.
Yeah.
Way too scared.
Yeah.
Like, I would maybe be in the room if I knew you were somewhere close. Like, you go down to the lobby, I'll be in the room.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I can't just be there by myself with nobody else.
Okay.
No, could you?
No.
No. Because
I thought you were braver than me, though.
I mean, maybe, but I'm not that brave.
Have you ever stayed in a hotel by yourself?
No.
I have once.
No, never have.
Because I have once when I had to go to Salt Lake City for a work trip, and I had my own room.
I feel like I would like that, actually.
It was nice.
I feel like that
one was not haunted, and it was actually a pretty nice hotel. So
now that I'm thinking about it, I would. Actually, I think I changed my mind. I would much rather there be somebody else, though.
Yeah. But also, it sounds like you're more likely to get the ghost if it's just you.
But it happens to everybody. Oh, even if there's multiple people in there. That was just like the first woman who really said it. Okay. But it does happen.
Well, then maybe we should.
I'm saying. I did not look up how expensive it was. It might be. I don't know. But that's definitely not the most popular hotel now.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. So, and it's definitely not the tallest building now, obviously.
Right.
There's skyscrapers down there in Charlotte today. So, I don't know. I'm just saying I'm down. I'm down to go to the Dunhill Hotel. That's all I'm saying. But that is the legend of the Dunhill Hotel.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Crazy. This was a deep episode.
It was.
Heavy is really what I meant, not deep. Wow.
Yeah, no, it was heavy.
That's crazy.
Heavy, for real.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on, guys. Oh, I forgot to say Happy Pride. I forgot to say Happy Pride, but it's still Pride. And
Happy Pride, Happy Juneteenth.
Oh, Happy Juneteenth. Yes, Happy Juneteenth. Go celebrate. I'm mad, actually, big mad. I won't call them out, but my company gave me Juneteenth off the last couple years and not this year, and that just feels...
I know, I don't get it off this year either. Stupid.
Feels wrong.
Whatever.
Feels weird. Why? I don't know the logistics, but...
I don't know.
Regardless, go check out our Instagram to see pictures from our stories this week. Oh, also while we're here, I did pull up the Dunhill if you want to see what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. This is what it looks like. Oh, look at how big that building is beside it now. Yeah. It definitely still looks like it did when it was first built. It's definitely old. And also, I had no idea that was a hotel. I've literally walked right beside that multiple times.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was apartments.
Oh.
But also, you just have to think about, like, it's horrible. That's so scary.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Oh, my gosh.
That's how I'm visualizing it. Like, that's so... It also looks... I'm sorry, but it looks kind of creepy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like, just, like, imagine it's a dark, stormy night, and you see this. Then that's very creepy. This is a sunny picture, like... Or actually, it is raining.
Yeah. Oh.
Creepy. That's all I know. But go to Instagram to see pictures from the stories. And rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. Mm-hmm. And also, while you're there, you might as well check out our TikTok and our YouTube.
Please. Just go to all of it.
Every single thing. But, I mean, other than that, I really don't have anything else for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
I think we've got all of it
this time. I think we covered it all this time. Okay, well then I guess we will see you guys next week.
Okay, cue the music.